You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice, Odie, Maurice, Odie.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy. It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast with your two hosts, Maurice and Odie. I'm, of course, Maurice.
And I'm Odie.
And we're just a couple of nerds out here, sexy nerds, just doing the news that you could use and hanging out with each other. I don't know.
Yes, we are hanging out with each other.
Hello there, Nick. How's it going?
Nick is gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway.
It was nice to see you.
It was nice to, here's the thing. We see when you're here, all right? It's kind of like Santa Claus rules. Like, we know when you're lurking because you lurked in and then you left.
You know, we're not going to be mad at folks for jumping in and out. Hello, AJ.
What's up, AJ?
It's fine. Some people jump in.
I'm not mad at them for lurking. I'm just like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, you're in here for a little bit. For those of you listening on the podcast, I'm referring to our Instagram Live, which we always do in conjunction to recording these podcasts. So, just be on the note that if you're gonna check us out on Instagram Live, I will be the first to say hello to you and then chastise you for getting the fuck up out of here.
We want you to be here. We like you. We love you. We love spending time with you. Mm-hmm. So we appreciate when you come to spend time with us.
Speaking of spending time with each other, let's get to know each other with a little bit of Q&A with O&M.
Questions. Okay. Close your eyes. Hello, Nick. Thank you for coming back.
Hello there, Nick.
Right.
See that you're back.
Pick a card, any card.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. What does it say?
What are the best ice cream sundae toppings? Okay, so banana's not a topping, right?
Yeah, you can have a banana topping on an ice cream
Isn't
sundae.
that what makes a sundae a sundae?
No, that's a banana split. But
Oh.
you can have a bananas on a sundae.
You can? Yeah, I think so. All right. And thank you for the wave, Nick. I think berries, like berries and sprinkles.
What flavor ice cream are you going to have on the sundae?
Oh, strawberry.
Okay, that makes sense.
Strawberry
for you.
and vanilla.
That makes sense for you.
Yeah.
I know that's
Or if we're doing it like really fancy, doing it up like homemade, Cherry Garcia, because that's my favorite ice cream.
That is your favorite ice cream.
What about you? What are the best ice cream sundae toppings?
So the toppings, I'm gonna have peanuts.
Ew.
I'm gonna have hot fudge.
Okay.
I'm gonna have one singular cherry, preferably a maraschino cherry.
Oh yeah, cherry counts as my berries.
Your cherries are your berries?
Yeah, cherry is a type of berry, right?
I don't know if it's a berry, but it's a cherry.
It's a cherry berry.
A cherry berry.
Yeah.
A cherry berry sundae.
Cherry berry sundae.
Then, okay, so gummy bears. And, what else?
You just want to... gummy bears.
Yeah.
Gummy bears are the worst candy.
No, they're not. They're
They're
best
always so
candy.
fucking hard.
No, you just suck on them and they get softer.
Why do I have to suck on something just for it to get soft? Hey.
And then the ice cream is gonna be chocolate, and maybe like that one. Oh, I would like it.
Remember
to be chocolate.
those hard shell ice?
I love those.
The hard
At
shell.
the ice cream man when he dips it.
No, they used to sell it.
The one with the little chocolate bar in the
No.
inside?
Hard shell chocolate liquid. This was like from like maybe the 90s or 2000s. Basically, like you would pour the hot chocolate on there and it would get hardened.
That's the hard shell, the magic shell.
Yeah, the magic shell.
The ice cream man used to have that, at least here in New York. Mr. Softy would have that, and I would always get it dipped.
Not
peanuts.
my Mr. Softy. My Mr. Softy had food that he would give us, like, us
Sausage,
kids.
hot sausage.
No, not. Well, first off, not that. But no, like leftover Mexican food. Well, not leftover, but like he would have Mexican food that he would let us have.
Hilarious. I want a chocolate ice cream, but I want another type of ice cream.
Because I was a big spender.
To
give me the $2 strawberry.
Eclair.
It's
To
not
the
an
double
eclair.
cone?
No, not the double cone. The strawberry. It's like vanilla with strawberry and liquid in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have those.
I want to have a
like a
chocolate
cup.
ice cream and maybe like not necessarily vanilla, but something that would break up the chocolate. Because if you're gonna have fudge on there, even though I love chocolate,
It's
having
too much
chocolate on
chocolate.
top of chocolate is too much.
Yes,
so I
that's
want
too
something
much
else to
chocolate.
cut it. Maybe
Rainbow sprinkles all day.
Rainbow, you know,
Yeah, we go.
I wish-
see, Nick knows what's up.
I wish that I liked sprinkles.
Okay. Anyhow,
I wish I liked sprinkles. I will eat ice cream.
You
with
don't like sprinkles at all?
I feel like, you know what it is? They just get so hard in the ice cream, and I kind of feel like when I'm eating ice cream, I just want to like scoop it in my
They're
mouth.
not getting. Why don't you suck on them?
No, it's not the same. It's not the same as a gummy bear. It's not the
You're-
same as a gummy bear.
You're an oxymoron wrapped up in a puzzle.
I am. Okay, so that's enough with the sundaes. Please take our orders for next time, and you can bring us some when we see each other.
Fantastic. Yes.
Which sunset do you remember most?
That would probably be the one. Oh man, this is kind of sad, but the sunset. When my grandfather passed away at his burial.
Oh, but that's beautiful.
Yeah, because I was the last one there. Like, as in, like, I stayed there the longest. Yeah, broke down crying over the loss of my best friend.
Well, that's
And
beautiful.
it was in the evening. The sun was setting on both the day and on our time together.
But that's a beautiful memory.
Yes. Do you remember any sunset?
One sunset that I would say is one of my favorites is when we were in Bahia. My friends and I went to Brazil, and we were on the beach, and it was just like the most beautiful sunset. And I feel like I'll always remember that. I mean, Brazil was just like a great place, so I would say that one. I love sunsets. It's my favorite time of day. If I could wake up early enough to see the sunrise, I would do that too. But sunset and sunrise are my favorite times of day.
Okay.
Because I love the colors in the sky, and I wish that I was a great painter so that I could like recreate them.
Right.
All right, so those were our questions. For
Those were our questions. Just see, quick and easy.
Quick and easy questions.
To the point.
And now we're gonna get into wait.
I'm not even doing that.
I wasn't telling you to wait. I was telling them to wait
Okay.
because we have to do our Women's History Month facts.
It's It's Women's History Month. That's how you do that. You announce the thing and then you do the air horn.
I wanted to do it both. Why can't we have both and?
Just a air horn sandwich.
Yep.
Okay.
I like sandwiches.
And maybe that's the name of the
Air
episode.
horn sandwich.
And air horn sandwich. Yeah.
So today, well, I think this is going to be our last show during Women's History Month.
Yes, it is.
So we're going out with a bang, and we're celebrating the incomparable. Did I say that word right?
Mm-hmm.
The incomparable Octavia E. Butler.
Ooh, yes.
Writer and prolific writer. She wrote more than 13 books and short stories. She was the first science fiction writer to win the MacArthur Fellowship. She also won the Hugo and Nebula Awards. And she passed away at 58 in California in 2006, but she's sometimes called the mother of Afrofuturism. And she's written several of my favorite books. Kindred, Parable of the Sower.
Hi, Lachey.
Hello.
How's it going?
So please, if you're looking for a new book, I 100% recommend Parable of the Sower. It's very, I would say, it's like a mirror to what we're dealing with right now and some of the things that we're hoping to get away from. But I read it.
Is it like Black Handmaid's Tale?
No, it's actually just more about like our society in general, because it's about it's a dystopian society where companies basically rule. There's a lot of violence and just anarchy all over the place, and there's really nobody there taking stock of it and or taking accountability for how the world has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it's now.
Yeah. Basically, she wrote that book in the 70s. I read it at the beginning of the start of the Peony. And when I tell you, I was so shook just thinking, like, she has a Republican president who's, I think his slogan was "Make America Great Again."
Really?
This was written so long ago. So I'm like, was she, like, some people have called her a witch. Some people have called her a psychic. Like, we're just like, how is she able to write the world we live in right now, decades prior? But I think there's on Twitter, there's an account called Octavia. It's either Octavia Knew or Octavia Taught Us. But I love their tweets just because, like, Octavia Butler knew the deal ages ago, and she has been trying to warn us. And I think that is the best part of literature, fiction in general, is that you come up with these ideas because you could sometimes forecast how you think things may go or what you worry how things may go. Mm-hmm. And if people are smart enough, they will heed that and caution it and then make different changes. So I suggest everyone go out there, read Octavia Butler. Start with Kindred or Parable of the Sower, both really great books. Kindred actually had a short-run series on Hulu. Unfortunately, I only got one season.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was based on Octavia Butler.
Yeah, it's her book. I have not seen it yet. I heard mixed reviews, but I just think that sometimes, Black media does not get the same space to grow and do better and create something that could be have longevity. It's like if in the first season we don't have the most views every episode, they just cut it. So I can't say whether it was good or not because I had not watched it, but I do know the books were amazing. Apparently there's supposed to be some movies coming out. A few years ago, Lupita was attached to one of them. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, we shall see what happens.
So that is our Women's History Month fact. Happy Women's History Month to all women out there. Thank you for all that you do. You're amazing. You're great. You're grand. And you are the future.
Women all over the world, join hands. It's time for appreciation.
Oh.
Appreciation.
Yes. Okay.
Next up will be third wave feminism. And how we'll look at the first wave and second wave too.
Can we jump into the pop culture
Yes,
segment?
we can.
You gonna press the button?
Yes, we are.
All right. So there's a lot of things that we have for this week. I want to know, do you want to start with stuff that's pretty good, kind of terrible, or do you want to start with the terrible stuff first?
Let's start with, can you give me something good, and then we can do like a sandwich, some good, some terrible, and then some end on something good.
Sure. So, one of my boyfriends, John Boyega.
John Bodega.
You know him. He was in Star Wars.
That's how my godson would
say
it when he was much younger.
Oh, that's very cute.
Yes.
But John Boyega, he's a Golden Globe winner. He's a Black Brit who has been making moves in film and TV, etc.
You might remember him from that movie Detroit. Does anybody remember Detroit?
Why would you say that? That's just rude. You know nobody remembers that movie.
Fine, but you might remember him from the most recent Star Wars trilogy.
Yes, but he's also been in a lot of things since then.
Attack the Block.
He was in Attack the Block. He was in Woman King. He was
Woman King.
He was really good in the Woman King.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't tear him a new asshole for that accent.
No, because he sounded good. He's Nigerian, or is he Nigerian? I believe he's Nigerian or Ghanaian. But his accent to me sounded like an uncle, so I was okay with it. It didn't sound like freaking the Lobster out of the new Little Mermaid. So
Hey, that's your movie. You wanted
listen,
it.
David.
You asked for a live action Little Mermaid movie. You're gonna get a live action Sebastian the Crab who looks horrifying. His eyes look horrifying.
I love David Diggs, but I'm just saying he was great at Lafayette.
Wait, that's David?
I believe so.
Oh,
I believe it is.
anything to get that Disney dollar.
Listen,
huh?
hey, I'm still
gonna watch it.
We're
I'm
still
gonna
go
watch
see
it.
it.
I might wait until it comes on Disney Plus.
We gotta see it in the theater. We gotta support.
Can I tell you something? I didn't go see The Lion King when it came out. I waited.
Well, I mean, I went just because it's Beyonce.
What's your guys' favorite fandom? Okay, so I'll answer this real quick. I feel like certain anime fandoms are pretty good. There are a few of them that can be kind of toxic, but I would say Jujutsu Kaisen's fandom is relatively like on point when it comes to like appreciating the art, respecting the artists, and like just showing their love and appreciation for the medium. Both the manga fandom and the anime onlys. I think their fandom Jujutsu Kaisen's fandom is really good. I follow a lot of different like artists and stuff on Tumblr. Yeah, I would go ahead and say that's probably my favorite fandom. A lot of it used to be Star Wars, but then they got too gatekeepy and
Racist.
Yes, like it's just every time there's just a black person who isn't Samuel Jackson doing anything in Star Wars, they're just ready to get up in arms like, who is this? Blah, 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 Reva, how dare you? Like, this is poor character work. And I'm just like, guys, you can't gatekeep something that's constantly going down in quality anyway. So
The Mandalorian is good.
no, the Mandalorian and Andor are really good, but those are like
The drops in the bucket.
they're drops in the
Yeah.
and Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is really
I like
good
the
as
Bad
well.
Batch.
Yes, as well. But
And
like,
did you see the article?
we haven't
I
had a
sent you?
good major Star Wars property movie in a really long time. The trilogies were not good.
Yeah,
I argued that point with my father.
I'm still annoyed.
Well, no, he also agreed, but we just when we're arguing,
Yeah.
like we could be on the same side of the thing, and yet if you listen,
You wouldn't
it
be- you wouldn't
still
know.
sounds like we're just arguing against each other.
I'm still mad they made those two movies back to back with those women who look nearly exactly alike. Because I'm still.
You're talking about
It was Rogue One.
Rogue One,
And then what's the other
Han
one?
Solo, a solo story.
No, one of them is the one that she's going up against. She's meeting the Darth Vader's child or something. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna get all
The
confused.
Force Awakens.
I think it was the Force Awakens and Rogue One. Where the
Okay.
two women are the main characters and they look very much
You think
alike.
Ray and what's his face looks alike?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not gonna look at
Alright,
either
okay.
way. This is not what we're talking about.
Yeah. What's your favorite fandom?
Okay.
Nick wants to know.
My favorite fandom is Harry Potter, and we are completely divesting it from that woman.
Y'all are doing a uphill battle of trying to get her not to be anywhere near
You know what I really I've been really
associated with the things that you love.
I just take her out of it at this point because I can't. I'm like I have a Harry Potter tattoo that says always for a reason.
Removing JK from the narrative.
I love Harry Potter.
Yes.
I
You have
don't
like
love,
9 tattoos of Harry Potter all over you. One
I
of them
don't-
is of Hagrid's beard.
Okay, shut up.
Another one is just Slytherin.
First of all, I would
The
never.
word
I would
Slytherin.
never mark my body with Slytherin.
Oh, the House of the Bad Guys? They put all the
No,
bad guys
I
in,
would
that,
not mark
in one
my-
house?
No, well, what's his name? Horace Slughorn was a Slytherin, and he was not bad. You know, there's jewels in every house.
Yeah, there's
But-
just... Oh, okay. How about to say, like, isn't that what they say about the fucking cops? Like...
Anyway,
Because crabs in a... No, not crabs in a barrel. Rotten apples or something like that. Whatever that euphemism is.
Harry Potter, and and also Star Trek. I would say are like two main ones because those
Surprisingly, not as gatekeepy as you would think.
But I think that because Star Trek has had such a long history of being like diverse, that I think that people are just used to it, and also so many of the aliens are a variety of colors and have all these different appendages and stuff like that. It's hard to like. You're really gonna like try to be racist about these blue colored aliens and who's playing it. So, but yes, those are my favorite ones.
What's the race with the boobs on their head?
What?
The ones that have like the sharp teeth and they got boobs on their head.
I don't know who you're talking about, so I'm gonna have to look
The
it
Klingi or some shit
up.
like
The Klingons?
that. Not Klingons, but like they're
The Ferengi?
The Ferengi, yeah.
I guess they kind of look like they have boobs on their head, I guess.
Yeah, obviously there's no nipple or anything like that. There's no areola, but like their head is kind of boobs.
They have weird heads. Okay.
Maybe my description of the Ferengi is what led Nick to leave.
It may be. So back to what we were talking about.
Yes,
John
Boyega.
My husband, my lover, my friend. He has recently done an interview, and he was talking about manifesting a woman, and this is what he said he likes and what he is currently manifesting.
He said he likes them brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Haitian.
No.
Name is Five Dog from the Zulu Nation.
He said brown and thick, melanin levels past 75%.
So they passed the paper bag test.
Thick levels.
Oh no, they don't pass.
You have to be looking good. And then he went on to say, my mom and dad have been together for 25 years, so that's a system I will follow. It's nice to survive with your companion by your side. I'm sure it's a good thing, but I've never experienced it. And I would like to say, I think that my melanin levels have to at least be like 80, 85. And when I come back from Thailand,
72.
What? What?
Yeah, you're about 72.
I am not 72.
If 100%, who
100% would be that model.
I don't know if I want to go down
No,
this
there's
road.
that really beautiful model. Oh, I think it's Ducky. Her name is Ducky.
Okay.
I'm gonna show you a picture.
So
of her.
if she's 100%, if we're going from
Ducky thought,
and I guess one would be Jesse Williams. Okay.
so I feel like
That's 100%.
I feel like I am.
Even that looks like it's 95.
No, there's another model I was thinking of who's also Sudanese, but that's darker than she is. But I can't remember her name. But Ducky
Is that
Thought,
her stage name, Ducky Thought?
that's her actual name.
Oh, that's her. What? Really?
Don't make fun of people.
I'm not making fun of her name. I didn't
Licorish.
know. First off, fuck you. And second of all, I was not making fun of her name. I was not sure if that was her real name or if that was her
That's
stage
her
name.
name.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm just saying I am 80 to 85% on the melanin levels. When I come back from Thailand, I'm going to be about 90. Because it's going to be really hot.
Because it makes more
every day.
sense if that was her stage name and she's owning that.
There's nothing that you're going to say that's going to make you making fun of her name better.
What?
I'm just saying.
You know what? Fine. Fuck it. Whatever. Who cares?
Okay, so that I just would like everyone to know, if you're looking for John Boyega,
That's
wants
his requirement.
chocolate and thick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying, I'm both of those things. So I feel like I'm in the running.
What are you looking at me for? Like, I already gave you my assessment of your
First
percentage.
of all, but you
You're
were
like
wrong.
72.
I'm definitely not 72%.
But I'm like 70, so it doesn't even matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just a little bit more chocolate
I'm
than
not
me.
a little bit more chocolate. I'm a lot of bit more chocolate.
I don't know about that.
It's winter
I'm like
time.
rich chocolate, and you're a little bit on the dark chocolate side of things.
I'm not a little bit. I'm definitely dark chocolate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you'll go to Thailand and get a tan. And,
Yes, and I'm gonna come
and
back,
and it will be temporary.
It will not. It's the start of the summer season. You're outside more. I'm just light skinned right now because it's cold. This is my winter skin.
This is your winter.
This is my winter skin.
Maybe that Maybe I might make that.
All right. So that was a good one. Now let's get into one that's a little bit more problematic.
Okay.
Now, you know the show Swarm that we haven't watched yet, but we should watch it for Watch What Happens. Watch Out Now. No.
Watch what happens now.
We're going to watch it.
Yes, we are now, what's his face? And
Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen. And we're getting into a bunch of mess with all of our guests, trying to get them canceled on Twitter for their problematic takes. But no, yeah, maybe I don't know. I'd be down for that.
I feel like I want to watch it. We have Dominique Fishbacks in it.
If we do
Chloe.
if we do 3 episodes at a time.
Yes, but
it's all available on Amazon Prime right now.
Chloe Bailey is on there.
Mm-hmm.
Damson Idris is on there.
Yeah,
it's a very star-packed show.
And apparently there's a spicy scene.
Some spicy
spiciness
scenes
going on, and everybody that you just mentioned
are beautiful
to see spice.
I want to see it. However, Donald Glover is the creator. Also, Malia Obama.
Oh, okay.
She wrote episode 6 of this season, which is super cool. Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, was in it.
Good.
So it's a very star-studded, the people on here, they have different chops and bringing different things to the show.
The stars are out at night.
However,
and bright.
What's his name?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover has got into a little bit of trouble because he was saying he was talking about in Vulture about how it was difficult for Dominic Fishback to get into character, and she kept asking him for help, etc. And he said that you're not regular people. You don't have to find the humanity in your character. That's the audience's job. Think of it more like an animal and less than a person. Now, this is coming under fire because over the years, Donald Glover has sometimes put his foot in his mouth when it comes to talking about black women. And then in his shows, people have pointed out that the black women in his shows don't really get the treatment they wish that they did. Like, they're not really given really good storylines, or they're very toxic, or just something that leaves much to be desired.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't aware of any of this.
Well, maybe you should.
I feel like Vanessa had her own episode each season.
Yeah, but even still, even with that, it was like, the women on the shows, it's like the dark-skinned women, their storylines are very different than the light-skinned women. And then the women in general, even then, still have bouts of toxicity that we don't see full range of characters. I'm not Twitter. I'm just telling you what Twitter has said.
Okay.
And what people have thought.
Thank God you're not Twitter, because I would say, get the fuck out of my house. Get out of here. You're nowhere.
This is what Twitter
I do not want anything to
has said. And the issue with this most recent statement is that he has already gotten controversy about his dehumanization of black women in his shows and not giving them the character development, etc. And so for him to say that you're playing a black woman in this role, but you shouldn't look at her as a black woman, you should look at her as like an animal, it just was not the right word.
Probably. It
use.
reminds me of that line in Jay-Z's Girls, Girls, Girls song. Like, why you treat me like animal?
Is that what it reminded you?
Yeah. The quote literally reminds me of that line from that song. To the man, why you treat me like animal?
But I feel like Donald Glover, he oftentimes gets himself into trouble when it comes to talking about black women or black people, because there was one time he was talking about Chevy Chase calling him the N-word on the set.
Yeah, that was like a week or two ago. I was agreeing with you. No, I was agreeing with you. Don't sigh at me.
He was talking about being on the set of Girls, because remember, he was the one black guy that they had on the show, and he just had sex with Lena whatever Dunham one episode and then was gone. But he was saying that Lena called him the N-word. And he was just like, okay, cool. And, like, obviously he was joking, so who knows what happened. But this is, like, those kind of things where he's talked about how white women have been racist towards him. And he's just, like, allowed it because he wanted to fuck or something like that. And then with black women, it'll be kind of the opposite of him projecting the worst of the worst. And it doesn't add to his credibility.
Hey, sup? That's my cousin.
Hi.
How's it going?
It doesn't add to his credibility when he says things like, you shouldn't be looking at this woman character as a human. It should be an animal. That's it. But please, everyone, if you've watched Swarm, give us your thoughts. If you've read that Vulture article on Donald Glover, give us your thoughts, because this is not a what is it called?
Monolith?
No, we're not. It's a democracy.
Yeah, it is a democracy.
Well, it's a modiocracy.
Yes, this is a modiocracy.
It's a modiocracy.
Yes, this is a modiocracy. So we love your input. We love your thoughts. Definitely let us know your thoughts and opinions on this as well. And again, Sup, man? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Eating vitamins and drinking water. Like, I'm telling that to everybody, not just you.
You should do that.
Everybody should drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Drink water is hydration for the face.
Keep
Like,
your skin glowing.
look at my beard. My beard is as good as it is because I drink water.
Are you ready to go to the next?
Yes, I am ready for the next thing. I don't understand these pauses that you're doing.
I was gonna make a comment.
Looking at my face and just being like,
I was going to make a comment, but I didn't make it because it was going to be
that I eat pussy.
Oh my God! I said I was not going to make a comment. We are moving on.
My beard is as good as it because it's a 2-part program. First you gotta drink a lot of water. And then you gotta eat a lot.
I cannot go on to our next portion because it's serious and you are not being serious.
You're the one who started this!
I did not start it. I specifically said I'm not going to make a comment and you decided to make it.
I guessed was that your comment? Was that your comment?
I don't know. I'm not going to.
Alright, okay. Fair enough.
Are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready to go right now.
Are you ready to be serious?
Let me get into my serious bag.
Thank you.
Yes, this is Serious Maurice.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Journalism. Walter Cronkite.
Who's Cronkite?
Walter Cronkite.
Who's Cronkite?
It's Cronkite. I'm the Black Walter Cronkite. I'm
You're
Walter
Cronkite.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anyway, we're moving on
to something serious.
Yes. Now, you know.
No, serious.
That we love Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Yes, we do love Cheryl Lee Ralph.
Amazing actress.
I know what this is.
She's been thankfully getting all of her flowers most recently and doing an amazing job on Abbott Elementary and getting an award and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yes. So with all this press, she's been doing a lot of interviews, and I saw an interview with her this week that shocked me, and this is going to be a trigger warning, so I don't know if you need to press any buttons, but trigger warning. Mm-hmm. She was doing this interview, and she said that she was at a business event several years ago, and a famous TV judge sexually assaulted her, and that network executives witnessed the attack, but asked her to stay silent to avoid bad press. She said, I'm at a very public place. I was suited. I had my suit on. I was handling my business for the television show I was on at the time. He and I were on the same network. This man walked in, grabbed me by the back of my neck, turned me around, and rammed his nasty tongue down my throat.
Ew!
And everybody at the network saw it.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Okay, she was on Angela Yee's podcast, Way Up with Angela Yee, when she talked about it. Mm-hmm. But she wanted to make sure they let it know that it was not Judge Greg Mathis.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously, I mean, there's not many black judges. It's Mathis and who's Judge Joe Brown. So maybe he was in. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay.
But we just know it was a famous judge.
When you said judge, I didn't know you meant like television judge. I thought you meant like I didn't know it was like one of those like courtroom judges.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a judge panelist on like a reality
like a real
competition show.
A judge that knows the legal system did this, because those are real judges.
Yeah, they are real judges.
They are real judges. Like Judge Judy is a real judge.
This is a bad judge.
And then she talked about another time and where that something happened. I think someone maybe tapped on her on the behind, but she confronted them years later at a dinner, and she said everybody on the table chastised her and said, like, how dare you bring this up? And I'm just like, how dare? Why would I not bring up someone's abuse of me?
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is. If you say something nasty to me, if you do something nasty to me, if you harm me in any way, it is my right to bring that up whenever I want to bring it up, regardless of the venue, because you did that to me. Why should I now be quiet just to make sure that nobody else is uncomfortable? Because now I'm uncomfortable.
And for the record, nobody should be bad touching anybody.
Yes.
Like,
keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself.
We learned that in kindergarten.
It's one of the first rules that we learn when we go to school. It's just like, hey, you can't just go wandering up and touching people.
It's
like,
really not
all
difficult.
willy-nilly. You know what I mean?
It really isn't.
And as we get older, especially if you're like a judge, like, you definitely should know way better than to just like... That's a straight up assault right there, right?
Yeah,
am I wrong?
No,
that's fucked up.
Just because people might think it's because it's a kiss and not like ripping her clothes off, it's not that bad. But touching someone, kissing them in a way that is sexual is always going to be inappropriate, regardless of whether you're joking or not.
Yeah.
Like, even with John Cena hitting Austin Theory in the balls the other day.
Yeah, the
that could be considered sexual assault because you just touched my private
area
in front of all these thousands of people and
Ball
people
tap.
on TV.
And I'm just supposed to sit here and
be like, okay.
hope that I get a win at WrestleMania.
It's just, everyone just keep their hands to themselves. Mm-hmm. That's it. Unless
keep your hands, your tongues.
Keep them to yourself.
Keep them to yourselves. All right? It's not that hard. It's super easy.
It is. It is
It's incredibly easy.
Barely an inconvenience.
Yeah. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. You're absolutely right.
All right, so moving on. This is something I saw on Twitter this week. It was trending, and I was curious of your thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
So there's this beauty influencer whose name is Ini Popola. I believe she's Nigerian, who recently quit her job at a law firm because
was she a lawyer?
She was a lawyer, yes.
Okay.
She's also a beauty influencer.
Okay.
And apparently, she said one of the partners at the firm saw her TikTok and I guess saw she was getting some money and reported her to the firm. So they wanted to have a talk about it, and they basically were like, this is breaking moonlighting rules and non-compete rules. And so she had to make the choice whether she was going to continue her beauty influencing.
And so she quit.
Now, I at first thought that people were just being haters and she shouldn't have had to make that choice because she says in the video that her company always knew that she was an influencer, so it wasn't like it was new.
Kind of like how my company knows that I'm a podcaster.
Exactly, yes. So I think that perhaps the only thing that turned this into an actual issue is the fact that she's making money off of it, because then that could have created...
It goes from being a hobby to an actual source of income.
And you never know, like, contracts, because if you're a lawyer, the contracts you're going to be working on...
Yeah.
They could say that there was a conflict of interest and things like that. So I don't know...
Or even just the amount of time that you're spending on said case... You know, like,
yeah, I mean, I guess
work that you're doing.
Someone could try to say, things. "Oh, I lost because you were spending time on your
little vlog
and not on my case." Who knows? But I do think that calls into question, like, what if you're at this point in our lives? I mean, most of us have grown up with the internet and have grown up people having a regular persona and then an internet persona.
Not to mention that we have grown up with hustle culture. And,
yes,
and
honestly, you need to have more than one in this world, like my mom at my age was able to get ready to buy a house. That is not most of our kind of journeys.
Yeah.
Most of us, if we don't have more than one job or a hustle or a side gig of something, we are kind of just out of options, and you just like living paycheck to paycheck. So it makes sense that people who are good at something and are gaining a following, like, is that your hair? Our friend Gladys, she was able to turn her social pages into a full-time career.
Yes.
And I think that's something that all of us notice, and so it's like, why would I give that up? But I am curious if I would give up my job as a lawyer to be an influencer. Because you went to school for all that time.
True, but
I guess if you don't really love it.
Yeah, you can go to school for any number of things and not love it, you know? Like school is just sort of the jumping off point for you to figure out what it is you want to do for the rest of your life.
Or what you don't want to do.
Or what you don't want to do.
Because there were a lot of classes I took, and I said,
my friend Monique, she also went to law school, and now she's a DJ. Like, she's a very successful DJ Mahogany. Shout out to you. Also, it'd be nice if you could DJ an upcoming event, potentially, that we might do, potentially for 100th episode.
That would be great.
That would be great.
That would be awesome. But no, I think that we need to,
or discount,
that companies should not
put you in a position where you have to choose your career over your passion.
What ways can we make this work? Because the same way, like, I freelance write stuff, I wouldn't freelance anything that would be in conflict of interest of my main job. But I feel like more and more places. I was reading an article the other day about how people who work in like gig economy jobs or small or more minimum wage jobs are being given like non-competes, when it's like those are usually regulated to jobs where you're making like a good amount a year. Like to force someone who's making $15 or $20 an hour not to be able to work anywhere else. Like if I want to work at Burger King and at McDonald's and at Taco Bell because I have the time, I'm gonna do just that because you're not paying me enough to be able to just work one job and like feed myself and take care of my family.
Yeah, exactly.
So I do think that people should. I feel like we're gonna need to figure out how to create new laws and regulations that we can work these things out together without having to like stop our livelihoods.
Yeah.
But hopefully she has a very popular page, so hopefully she continues to build her brand, and she has the law degree to fall back on. If she does want to do that later, if something happens, she can always freelance. She could work at Legal Shield or something like that. Who knows?
Legal Zoom.
But speaking of legal cases, there's a big win in Michigan because a judge has approved $626 million to the Flint water crisis settlement, which is great because people there still can't drink any water. This is still an ongoing issue that has been going on since 2018?
I had a question about this.
Okay.
I knew that Flint still didn't have water because there's been, at this point, there would have been a highly publicized thing of like, hey, we cleaned up the water. You know what I mean? And since that hasn't happened, I assume that Flint still doesn't have clean water, right?
So what's your
Are
question?
people moving out of Flint?
If you have the money
if they can, right?
Most people, like, the thing about these issues, they're not happening in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, they're not happening in
where
areas
people
of
could
affluence.
get up and go.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you're there, you're just there, and you're just having to live with it.
It's a trap.
What's her name?
It's a trap.
Little Miss Flint, the young girl. This started in 2014. I want to say in 2014 she was probably like 6 or 7 years old. From then to now, she's been the main person to collect money and get, politicians and celebrities and all these people to donate money, donate water and resources because people in Flint were just living with the water they had, boiling the water, buying bottled water, dealing with the health issues that came from having this contaminated water. So it has been just almost a decade of them having all this contamination, and this settlement is just it's just like the first step. So one of the lawyers on the case, the judge, David J. Newblatt, who approved it, said this historic settlement cannot undo the unimaginable hardship and heartbreaking health effects these families and children in Flint have endured. This ruling provides families with much-needed compensation for the injuries they have suffered. I am proud of my team's tireless work on behalf of the people of Flint. So I hope that everybody who's been impacted by this gets the money they need to take care of themselves, their health, retrofit their homes, to get these new piping.
Or even just to move.
Or to move, yeah, if they want to. Like, or to be able to move.
Like, to be able to get the fuck out of there.
You see, I'm sandwiching in the good news and the well, that was a good story.
Yeah, that was
but
a good
this
story.
was a sad premise.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a good one or a bad one?
Let's do a bad one.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Depending on who you are, you'll decide if this is bad. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Also, keep in mind the time. Yeah.
Thank you.
My
Tekashi 6ix9ine
warning.
was beat up in a gym.
Right. Yes.
He was in Miami. He was in the sauna. Next thing you know, these big burly dudes. Well, not burly, but these fairly sizable guys.
It's a gym, so I imagine it's not going to be any skinny Pete's. And that's not body shaming. I'm just...
They were bigger. They were like bigger guys.
Bigger guys.
And they were, in the video, they're like, we don't deal with no snitches around here. And they were like kicking them and beating them up. And he was wearing like these little Speedo shorts and was all bloodied in the nose.
It's not fun.
And his multicolored dreads or braids or whatever were flowing in the wind. It was a sight to behold.
It was a sight to see.
He went to the hospital. He said he didn't have his security guards with him because he was at the gym, which...
If you're gonna be who you are, you should probably have security guards near you 24/7.
Now, some folks have accused him of pulling a Jesse Smollett, because they're like, since when do you not have your bodyguards with you when you're at the gym? Like that's cap, as the kids like to say.
Yes.
I don't know, honestly.
I'm a kid. I like to say it.
A person he was beat up on camera, so it's not even like with the Jesse situation, the Juicy situation, where he was telling us what happened afterwards and had kind of bruised on his face. Like, would someone go to these lengths on camera in their little short gym shorts to be beat up just for the sake of getting what would you get from this besides people laughing at you?
Pity.
Is
some
pity.
Get
him something?
I do kind of have a little bit of pity for him. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't
know. I look, listen. I don't like the dude. I don't like that he, basically snitched on his whole crew. He was annoying as a rapper, doing all this stuff, saying "suck my dick" all the time, and
saying the N-word,
and saying the N-word and stuff, just to then turn state's witness and stuff to take down a whole bunch of. You got yourself in with a bunch of bloods. What did you think was gonna happen? But I also don't wish violence on him.
No,
you know
don't
what
wish
I mean?
violence.
I don't, and I don't like the idea of him getting bodily harm done to him. Especially after if this was gonna happen, I'm not saying I would want it to happen sooner, but it should have happened sooner.
Yeah.
Just to sort of, he at this point has been walking around just the most carefree troll that anybody has ever seen.
Yeah.
And only now is it that he's been touched, if it was gonna happen, it would have made more sense to drive home the point of your actions have consequences sooner rather than a few years later. That was years ago. That was before the penny.
Didn't that happen right after we graduated?
No, not
right after, but a few years after.
No, this
2016.
No, this is maybe 3-ish years ago.
Oh, I don't.
Jesus and Mara were still on Vice. That's how long ago this
I hope
was.
that Tekashi gets well soon.
And also they were together.
And all that.
Yeah.
But
all that.
it was.
It's what it is.
It's one of those situations where you play stupid games. You win stupid prizes.
Win a stupid prize. And
Because-
the prize you won was hey Matt.
I think that Tekashi just he has made his bed and now he's lying in it. So hopefully he recovers safely in wherever he's at now. Okay, moving forward to some good news. After almost 100 years, Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee, has hired a black woman resident in its neurosurgery residency program. Her name is Tamia Porter, and she has accepted the spot in the neurosurgery position at the University's Medical Center in Nashville. She's 26 years old, and she received the news on National Match Day, which is March 17th. She told CNN, everything that I'm doing, everything that I'm learning, everything I experience is for the betterment of someone else. And that she was, excited about the match, relieved, and excited to start this next chapter of her life. I mean, this is great. I think this is a great story. It is annoying having all these black firsts or seconds or whatever coming out because there's no reason why after 100 years or almost 100 years, this should be the first black person or black woman to be in this program.
Thank you, Matt. We do love black excellence.
We love it.
I think Odie's point is that the only annoyance in it is that it hasn't happened sooner.
Because it's just like, how long you've been around for this long. I know that there were black women who were interested in neurosurgery, who were passing these courses, and they were working harder than everybody else and weren't just Nepo babies. But they weren't allowed in. I mean, that's frustrating. I'm glad she's there. I hope that they give her the resources and the networks that she needs and deserves to be able to strive. But it's frustrating because, okay, this CNN has a stat in this article that only about 5.7% of physicians in the United States identify as black.
Yeah, that's sad, and also makes a lot more sense when you realize that, like, I don't think I've ever had a black physician.
Oh, I have. I've looked for them, but it's still hard. And then a 2019 report by the Association of American Medical Colleges said only 33 black women are in the neurosurgical field in the United States in 2018.
That's
So
you said 33?
Only 33 black women.
That's over a month's worth of black women.
So if you're someone who is having some neurological issues, you need to see somebody. It is going to be very difficult for you to find somebody in that field that looks like you. And I just think that is a shame because everyone should be able to go to a doctor who looks like them or has a cultural competency. And we already know how black people and other non-white folks are not treated the same in the medical system because a lot of the stereotypes and biases are still there. Like, there are doctors who still to this day think that black people have higher pain tolerances because of slavery. Those were things that were written into medical textbooks.
Yeah.
So, and this is not white or black doctors. These are just doctors being taught certain things. So I'm so happy for her. She's gonna be amazing, and I'm looking forward to all the black girls who come after her. But I wish that this did not take so long because we know that there were other qualified people to be in these programs.
Agreed.
But she's gorgeous. She looks so happy, and I'm so excited to see her in her white coat. Some funny, hilarious news. CeeLo Green. What's wrong?
I have no idea.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
It's
not.
It's not a big deal.
It's a medium deal.
Too many fucking cables around.
It's
here.
just a few of them.
There's just so many.
We have a lot of
I
cables.
have to wrangle these motherfuckers.
We have cables on cables on cables, and sometimes they just give us a little bit of a little spark. They're letting us know that they're here.
That's poor production.
And sometimes shit happens. And we just go with the flow. Unlike CeeLo Green, who fell off his horse at a party this week. He was at
Apparently, he was driving around town with the girl he loves, and he's like, horseshoe.
He was at a party for Shorty's B-Day. Shorty Low. Okay.
Shout it low.
He was celebrating Shorty Low's B-Day at the bank in Atlanta Wednesday, and he came in with a horse. The horse was apparently nervous because of all the crowds and the lights, and the employees tried to get the animal to to be calm
down.
And then it fell, and he fell with it. But also, that poor horse. This is not fat shaming, but I don't think this.
It's more creep shaming. That horse had to hold up a creep.
And he wasn't like he doesn't look like someone who.
Yes, he fell off of his high horse. That was good, man. That was a really good one.
He doesn't look like somebody who knows how to ride a horse. You could see it in his stance, the way he's like on there. He looks very amateur. And I don't think that you should be. This is like fucking Rick Ross and his fucking buffalo.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the buffaloes.
Migrating around his Georgia property and getting into people's yards and scaring folks.
I wonder if he's eating those buffaloes.
No, he's not. They were gifts for his birthday.
He was just gifted.
He was gifted that. I forget the name of the underwear brand.
I want to be wealthy so
but someone
badly
gifted him
that I could just get somebody to gift me. Like, imagine. I always wonder, like, what it would be like to be gifted a puppy, let alone a buffalo. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like somebody, because like, you know, back in the day, you see these TV shows where somebody shows up and it's just like, oh, here's your Christmas gift. It's a little puppy in a box. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm always thinking like, oh, so you just gave me a whole responsibility. Like,
but you would love that responsibility.
I would love it! And I want it so badly!
Thankfully, the horse was not hurt. I'm just glad about that.
Was
but
Peter hurt?
No, he was fine. He got up and started walking. But PETA made a statement and said it doesn't take a genius to know that horses don't belong at a noisy, crowded party where slippery floors and strobe lights can agitate these vulnerable animals. If CeeLo bumped his head, PETA's hoping it knocks some sense and compassion into him.
Hey there.
PETA encourages others to not follow in his footsteps, use common sense and kindness, and leave animals alone. And you know what? I am with PETA on this one.
Odie's mom's in the building.
Hi, Mom. So yeah, I think that I feel like that was hilarious, and I hope that it did knock some sense into him because I mean he's a creep. So go look it up. What his creepiness?
He's a creep.
And you'll see that it's been terrible. All right, so a few more. I'm just gonna give some quick things before we switch on to our other side. Mm-hmm. One, Beyonce has said deuces to Adidas, but on the same day, basically, or like the next day, she announced a new line with Balmain, the couture
that's gonna
fashion line.
That's gonna be money.
It sure will.
Oof.
It sure will. Will I have a piece? Probably not. Will I look at it and lust over it? Absolutely.
Yes, you will.
Absolutely. I don't even really have. I think I have Ivy Park sneakers, and I have an Ivy Park bodysuit, but that's it. I don't because every time
a bodysuit.
Yeah.
You would have a bodysuit.
I like bodysuits. They're comfortable.
Yes, of course.
I like onesies. They're comfortable.
Yes, of course. That's why I said, of course, you would have one. Next.
Afro Man of Because I Got High fame. Mm-hmm. He is being sued by police officers because recently they searched his home.
Can you elaborate what rumors those are?
I am right now.
Oh, okay. You are elaborating about the rumors?
I'm sorry, Mom. What rumors?
Yeah, you have to
elaborate.
fill us
I thought
in.
you were talking about
we don't even have enough time to even get into it.
It's fine, but
so.
you could stay on. We're finishing up before we go to our next segment. So everyone who's on right now, stamp.
Stand by.
I'm sure she probably is on them. Everybody is at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
We're all on drugs.
Yeah.
Everyone is on drugs. Oh, shit. I forgot to take mine.
You did.
Yeah. I did take mine?
No, you forgot to.
Oh, okay.
You didn't take them.
Well, I was asleep.
Anyway. Mom, stop reading or listening to YouTubers.
Yeah, that definitely seems
I've
like
never
a rabbit.
heard that.
That seems like a Reddit rabbit hole if
Please
I've ever seen or
Do
heard
not
one.
go on YouTube or check the .coms before you
Miss, we
believe it.
really don't have time for this to even address this.
Anyway.
Not you.
Yes,
Talking
I know.
to your mom. Oof, we definitely don't have time.
It's fine. Woosah.
Yeah, it's not charging.
I see. This is a little icon.
It's dying.
It's fine. This is dying. Yes, we'll switch.
Okay.
Afro Man house was raided in Ohio because the police thought that he had suspicion of drug trafficking and kidnapping, but they found no evidence and they didn't file any charges. He took the recording of that from a security, and he made a song. It was a great song.
I thought it was nice.
I thought it was hilarious. And so they are suing him because they feel humiliated because the song has gotten so popular. So
fuck the cops, cause like first off, like I don't even have time to get into this, but like if that is the softest and not whatever, it has nothing to do with masculinity or anything like that, but it's the most ridiculous thing to sue somebody over hurt feelings. There, I said everything in a truncated way.
You did.
Okay.
Ronald Isley is suing his brother. Oh, sorry, Rudolph Isley. Oh no, what do you mean the audio's dead?
Audio died.
Okay, we're gonna be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy Podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy Podcast.
All right, so I'm going to finish off the last few articles we have, and then we're going to jump into our mental health segment. So, Rudolph Isley has filed a lawsuit against his brother, Ronald Isley, saying his brother has secretly and unfairly obtained exclusive rights to the Isley Brothers trademark, which they previously split, and has requested a trial by jury to bid to regain his rightful 50% share of the Isley Brothers empire.
Let's be real. Before we even mentioned this, did you know that the other Isley brother's name was Rudolph?
I did not know that.
I didn't. Like, anytime I think of the Isley brothers, I think of Ron Isley.
But you know what the thing is? I think that the Isley brothers are not our time. Mm-hmm. They, like, some of them have, I mean, Ron has continued his way into millennial culture because of his work with that man.
Oh yeah, that's right. First name that's not even Ron Isley. That's not even Ron Isley.
Was that Charlie Wilson?
Yeah, that was Charlie Wilson. First name Charlie, second name Wilson.
I was really upset when Charlie Wilson started to become a thing again when we were younger because I just did not.
Why? What's wrong with Charlie Wilson? Uh-oh.
He's not a bad singer. No, it's not that he's a bad singer. I just felt like it just wasn't. It didn't add to the songs in the way. Like I didn't need him to be there. But shout out to him for securing the bag.
Get his bag.
I'm glad for him. I just didn't want to hear him in any songs.
Matt, what do you think of Charlie Wilson? Please let us know.
They are fighting because Rudolph is saying that all profits and property
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Isley
under the Isley Brothers trademark have been divided equally among the singing group's founding members, Rudolph, Ronald, and O'Kelly Isley Jr. That is an interesting name, O'Kelly Isley. Since the band's inception, the eldest brother, O'Kelly, he died in 1986.
Oh.
And so Rudolph and Ronald had agreed to 50% ownership. And Rudolph departed from the act in the late 80s because he had some health issues and after the death of their brother. And so that's why we really only see Ronald and Ernie Isley now perform under the Isley Brothers.
Right.
So I hope that they figure this out. I feel like it's always sad when siblings are fighting and these type of squabbles over money and things like that. And I hope that Ron didn't actually try to like pilfer. But you know what? This has kind of been a trend in music because I've been wanting to tell you we gotta watch the Escape SWV reality show because there's so much drama.
There's so much messiness. Like in one episode, I believe Tamika accused. I think the first episode, Tamika accused. I think her name is Tasha. One of the sisters accused the other one of stealing money royalties from her, and then the mom was like, "She's jealous." It was just like a whole thing. It was every clip that I've seen is just shenanigans and sibling rivalry. And it's just it's very sad. I think it's very unfortunate that you get to this amount of prosperity and highs in your career, and then that causes some family drama. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
So
is this the last thing?
The last? Oh no, actually, well, I think I can keep the last two for what's making us mad.
Okay, sure.
So now we're going to hop over to our mental health segment.
Every week, we as advocates, not experts, come to each other to share our mental health journeys. And that's what we're here to share with you, our listeners, and our streamers.
Sure. Do you want to talk about
Were you going to be succinct like that?
I sure was.
Okay.
It's not the longest intro in the world, but you took it over, so that's fun.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell people how you've been doing this week?
I've been doing. This week was for me. It wasn't like high, but it wasn't like really low. It was right there in that sweet spot of the middle. Mm-hmm. Work was bullshit. Nothing major is happening. Although you're gonna be gone for a while, so that's gonna suck. So I'm mentally preparing myself for that, aka taking a lot more naps, sleeping, getting a lot more rest, not hibernating.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
How much more sleeping?
You also have a mental health question, don't you?
I do. Quick questions. How often do you worry about money?
All the time, because I want money. I want money. I want money, and I want more money, and I don't have enough money. I do not have enough money.
Matt, I feel like that would be cool to be one of our listeners, Matt, has said that his therapist kind of wants them to be a guest on the podcast she's trying to start. Now, that's curious to me.
No, I'm gonna veto that. I actually think that's a dangerous precedent to.
Is that not a conflict?
I feel like that's a conflict of interest between a patient and their therapist.
No, but you know what? I will say there is a precedent for this because Esther Pearl has a really good podcast. She does couples counseling, and she has couples that she records the sessions. They have a talk, and it's boomed over the last few years. So who knows? Maybe that could be something. But I would be very curious as to what she wants you to talk about. That she wants you to talk about you. Or does she want to talk about, like, what it's like for you to be her she's your therapist. What are you, what is
her
that?
Patient.
Her patient.
Yes.
I'm curious.
I am curious as well. Like, what's the format like? Do they have any drops? Like, I want to know.
Of course, do they have drops?
What mixer
That's
they're
your
using?
most important
In fact,
thing.
go ahead and do this and act as a little spy for me. Like, figure out what microphones they have. Do they have microphone boom arms like we have? Over here. Figure out what their actual setup is because if they just have like a little. Like, ours is more of a studio. Like, I have sound things behind these tapestries. I'm just saying, like, go there and
How
see.
legit is it?
How legit is it? If it's
If it's
not
too legit to quit, then go.
But if it's not legit, then quit. Quit therapy altogether.
I feel like that is
No.
that kind of goes back to what we were talking about with people having these side hustles. Like, is it bad for a therapist to ask their client or their patient to join them for that type of work?
I think that's crossing a line. I feel like that's crossing some sort of line. I can't put my finger on it. I can't articulate exactly why, but it does kind of lurch into an ethical gray area.
It could
because now you're using my private therapy sessions to potentially monetize.
But that's not any different
off of me. I'm already paying you money to be a therapist.
Other therapists do sometimes use their patients with permission. They will use their patients if they're talking about an article or if they're doing something.
Or if they're referencing something, I guess.
So I feel like it's honestly a mixed bag. I feel like there's a few more questions to be asked, and I don't think you should quit your therapist if you like this therapist.
Yeah, that was a joke.
And they if you tell them no and they're like, okay, cool, we'll continue our sessions, and it's fine. But I'm very curious, so I kind of want you to do this so we can report back.
Yes, report back all of your findings. Okay.
Specifically the drops.
The mixers, the drops, the microphones, the setup. Just let me know. Yeah.
All of it.
Are they getting staticky sounds in their fucking audio? Let me know.
Are you gonna put that under your what's griping you this week?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you, how much more do you think you'll sleep when I'm not here? Because you sleep a lot.
Yeah, a lot more.
You're constantly sleeping.
Yeah, because I won't have to worry about going out and doing shit on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday.
You sleep.
Anybody that I'm hanging out with is coming to see me in my home. Okay, so Sam, KV, Nastasia, y'all are coming to my house.
Please make him come
and
out.
Hanging out with me.
Please bring him outside the house at least once.
Absolutely not.
Please go out with
we're
him.
going to a place
that's not the one that's nearby us.
Close to me.
None of the do not go to a place within a 1 mile. That's in a 10-minute or less walking distance.
Yes, it should be.
First off, go
you
out.
think I'm gonna be walking there?
I know you're not gonna go walk.
I'm gonna catch a lift there.
But make sure get him out of the house.
Hell no. This place is gonna be funky with Maurice. It's just gonna smell like armpit and latent depression.
Oh no.
Don't feel sad. Like it's there's always that stench in the air, obviously.
Yeah, but at least,
I'm neurodivergent.
I'm here to light incense.
All right. Yeah.
And
Did we even light any?
I didn't, but I'll do that one time.
Okay.
Okay, so is that all? Okay, did you say all about your mental health stuff?
Yeah, that's my mental health segment. Or section.
For me, I would say it's been a mixed bag. I didn't have therapy this week. I'm still wrestling with some things and working them out.
That's wrestling.
I could see that.
You're putting your issues in a headlock.
I'm trying to put my issues in a headlock. I did feel really good about, I had like a big thing at work that I was doing and that went well. I think I'm having anxiety of thinking like I'm going to be away for a week. So now is everyone going to be asking me for stuff that like I didn't know that I need to give them. So I'm just trying to figure out how the best way to.
I was actually going to ask, are you working during this trip or no?
No, I'm not, but I am.
Are you working during the May trip?
No.
Okay.
Except for that one day when we're just going to be there.
Okay.
Outside of that, I'm not.
Okay.
But I am thinking like I'm going to like send an email. I think I should take I'm thinking about taking my laptop just because I'm having anxiety about not having it.
Yeah, I say take
on
it
the
with
off
you.
chance that like
Something
comes up or whatever. I just want to be able to like send out an email. If you guys are looking for this is where it is, or this is what we'll do when I get back, so that there's no questions. I think I've had such bad experiences in other jobs. Like when I would go away and then someone's like lying on me and saying I didn't tell them something or trying to make it a mountain out of a molehill, where I'm like, now I don't want anybody saying I didn't do anything. Like I have done my due diligence and CYA cover your ass regardless. And then on the off chance that I get like stuck at an airport somewhere, if I'm in Seoul for an extra day because the airplane won't start or whatever, I will have my laptop and I'll be able to work. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
My fear is that if I go away for the May trip, they're gonna and
they're not gonna do that.
And there's already a member of my team who's already gonna be gone because of maternity leave. And then I'll be gone for a week, so that's 2 managers who are going to be gone.
That's why there's other managers.
Well, yeah.
That's why
I guess he can.
Yeah.
Hold everything down.
This is the thing. Take your days. Send out the
summaries.
Take your days. If you die today, your job will have already filled your position or dolled out your work to other people without a pay raise. By that mid-afternoon. Like, they do not care. Doesn't matter how much a job tells you they love your work, your family, whatever the case may be. Take the time off that you take and let it be your time off, because they will take your time throughout the week and want you to be going above and beyond the call of duty. So when it's your time off, it's your time off. Unless you're doing one of those working vacations where I don't have enough time off, so I'm going to go and I'm going to work, fine. But outside of that, you put your time in. They know when you're going to be off. You're going to hand them over. You're going to do a vacation handover, and you're going to have everybody having everything they need. So if something comes up, all the people who have been working there now for years can handle it. That is not your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to make sure that everyone has what they need to be prepared for any questions that come up. But outside of that, that's it. That's it, and that's all. So, yeah, I think for myself, that was it. I'm just trying to mentally prepare for this trip that I have coming up later today, and making sure I have everything ready and prepared. Thankfully, I got all that done today. As you see, I cut my hair, and
it looks good.
Thank you very much. I did my laundry. I packed. I got cash out to trade in.
Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out.
And I feel good about what's going on. So I feel like this week I have slight anxiety about which I usually do on an everyday basis, but I don't feel like it's been overwhelming me. I've just been trying to mitigate things as they come down the pipeline.
And as a side note, Matt, you can't hide. Like, I'm gonna find these fucking podcasts that you were on. Yeah. My podcasts, I think, are still like in the ether somewhere. Like, I've been on many podcasts in the last decade. So like they're out there. You. Well, yes. I'm gonna find you and listen slowly. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. You can't hide your podcast from me.
Do you want to do the song before we go into...
No, the moment's over. Okay. Like, I usually do that
in the beginning.
When we come back. But,
all right, well, that was our mental health segment.
That was our mental health segment.
And now we're going to go to one of the most cathartic sections of the episode. Mm-hmm. This is where we talk about what pissed us off, what made us angry, and this is Gripes right here.
Bringing it! What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
Yes, this is that section, and why don't you start us off? Because I started the last.
You did. Okay, so number 1. Eric Adams is literally the worst mayor that we've had.
He's worse than fucking Dinkins.
Well, Dinkins don't. What's wrong with?
Well, I mean, he is worse than Dinkins.
He is worse, but Dinkins was a Howard Bison, or his wife was. Yeah, I think they both were.
Really?
Yeah, I wrote about them a while ago.
You could be from Howard and still be.
You can. Omarosa's from Howard.
Is Felicia Rashad from Howard?
Yeah, she is, and so is Isaiah Washington.
Yeah, so you could be.
Sometimes we have some duds.
Wait, all right, okay. Are we going to hate him forever because he called somebody the F word?
No,
If he
we're gonna
apologizes
hate
for
him
him?
Because he continues to be a douchebag.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just because.
No, he's a Trumper. He's a.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
Ew.
he's super conservative and terrible.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
okay.
just cheating some black people out of money, black filmmakers and directors and stuff out of money over a movie he did.
fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, he's terrible. Fuck Isaiah Washington. And I wish we could revoke some people's Howard degrees.
Fuck Eric Adams, too.
Fuck him. And want to know why?
This fucking conservative cop
Fucking
mayor.
party promoter who seems to be everywhere but in
Hanging
his
out with
office,
ASAP Rocky and
living in Jersey,
Living
and all
in-
this
living in-
bullshit. This fake ass vegan.
fuck him, man.
So not only did he create a stupid, ugly new We Heart New York City logo, which is dumb, the font's dumb, the proportions are dumb, but he's also trying to cut the money to libraries. So the New York Public Libraries have been forced to cut their hours in programming because of the budget. The proposed cuts of $13 million for this fiscal year and more than $20 million next year obviously have families, elected officials, and library leaders upset because there are more than 200 locations across the city, and the public library, it's so much more than just books.
Yeah, their after school programs, they offer free education.
I used to at the main one over here. I used to do literacy classes. I would help. I was a volunteer, and these were grown people who just did not
wanted to learn.
They wanted to learn, so you could do so much research, just going on a computer and being on social media for a little bit in the day, listening to podcasts, creating podcasts. I learned how to do Pro Tools using Audacity, so many different programs.
So what you're saying is you know how to edit this podcast.
I know how to do a lot of things because of the library.
Okay.
The library has always been a beautiful place.
Do you know how to edit video?
That was one of the things I was learning pre-Panny because of so many, especially like every library in the city does not have the same resources. But if you're able to go to like the main one in Grand Army Plaza, it's huge. It has a lot of different programs. All of them are free. You can host things there. It's just, there's nothing about the library that you can't love. It's books, there's computers, there's everything you need. There's people, and the librarians are so helpful for people of all ages.
Yes.
So it makes no sense to cut libraries.
It doesn't, especially when there's a whole fucking police funding that you could be dipping money from and diverting money from, because they have
They're
a
just
budget
walking
of billions.
around on their cell phones doing TikToks and shit and on Tinder and Grindr and all this other bullshit, and they won't be working because I see them on the phone now looking over there and they're playing fucking Candy Crush. So you're not even protecting and serving me. You're just playing on your phone, which, I mean, I will say honestly, to be fair, most people at work do just play on their phone and don't really work that much. But I'm not a public safety officer.
Yeah, police officer is not the job for you to be slacking off.
It's like if I'm at my desk and I'm looking at Candy Crush in a meeting real quick, like, no one's gonna die. I'm not gonna like miss a robber or a terrorist or something. You are in the largest city, one of the largest cities in America, one of the most most populated, most amount of tourism, all this stuff, and y'all can't even get yourself together to at least just pay attention to anything. Like, they've even had to tell them they're gonna send out, they put them on like blockers or something on their phone so they'll stop tweeting and texting. It's bullshit. I was on the train yesterday because he also cut money to the subway system. Mm-hmm. And when I was coming from your house, and I get off at Prospect Park, for one, why is one of the doors not opening? The doors went like this, and one of the little doors just stood there. We need new trains.
Yeah, we need new trains.
We need new trains.
We need
We need better track systems. There's always something going on. Like, you go to other countries and you see how
It's ridiculous how much our subway stations smell like pee a lot of the times.
They're just always wet and
Yeah,
not
they're
clean.
so wet. Like,
It's like, why are they so wet all the time? I have been to several different countries whose transit systems are a variety of ages. And ours, even though it's one of the longest running ones, is consistently terrible. And you've already cut money to that. And you're wanting to boost up the police, but you don't want to boost up things that will actually keep kids out of harm's way.
How much longer is he going to be mayor?
I feel like we
when's the
probably had
next
at least 2
mayoral-
more years, right?
Ugh.
I don't know. But okay, these are some of the things that cuts to libraries would do. Take away free preschool for 3-year-olds. Because that's something they have. And one of the council speakers, Adrian Adams, said the council has a different version for our city. It's focusing on investing in essential services that our communities rely on to be healthy and safe and really address the root causes of our greatest challenges. And I feel like that's what we should be doing. I don't know why he's such a terrible mayor and terrible person, but he also was besties with that pastor who faked his robbery.
Oh, I didn't know.
I forget his name. Yeah, they're
as close as
besties.
they were.
And he's always at parties. He's just a property promoter. You know who he reminds me of? And not in a negative way, but like, do you remember the party promoter David Castaigne at Howard?
Oh my God!
Adams is David Castaigne.
Yes, he is.
He's always at a party. He's always up in somebody's videos, dancing, but he doesn't do any work.
I wonder what's he doing now.
He's been actually a lot of places. He's a Kappa now. I know he recently crossed. He's been doing a lot of stuff. He's been doing a lot of stuff.
I roll my eyes at that.
I just want to say I can't wait for us to get a new mayor. We almost had there were so many other candidates. There were so many. And this is him. Yeah. This is who we got. Okay,
this is who we got.
That's the one thing that was pissing me off. Another thing. So, there's a black comedian named Jason Whitlock. You probably know him. You've heard of him. You've seen him. So, he addressed an issue. Hold on. I'm trying to get to the original tweet. So apparently there was a Mina Kimes, who I believe I think she might be a journalist. She was called a derogatory ethnic slur. I have personally never heard of it. I'm not going to say it, but she was called it. So
that word right there?
Yes, this one here.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't say it either because
I've never heard of it. I don't know what it means. I don't know the behind of it. But I believe it is associated with Japanese people.
Ew.
So he tweets out, "Raise your hand if you knew derogatory slur was an ethnic slur. I did not. Tell me how Mina Kimes' life was impacted by this. Other than nailing herself to a cross, I don't see the damage. She will dance to rap music calling black people N-words repeatedly without uttering complaint." Now, this term was used against her by a white person. And so he was...
White people will find a way to find the slurs that will cause the fucking ruckus.
Yeah, they will. But I saw somebody tweeted about this, and it was very funny. So I want to read what they said. Their name is Dragonfly Jones, and their title on Twitter is America is Musty, which it is.
Yes, it is.
Said, being a black man, absolving white people from accountability for using a slur just because it's just obscure is a level of tap dancing I will never understand. If they're digging in the crates and dusting off throwback World War era Asian slurs, what do you think they're calling your goofy black ass? And I feel like that was spot on. It does not matter how obscure a racist term is. And I got into an argument with an old roommate of mine about this before, because we were talking about one of the slurs for Romani people is a slur that it's a word that people use a lot. And it wasn't until I would say post college that I found out that was a slur and why it was used, because people associate Romani people with theft. So if somebody I'm not going to say the word, but if someone like you didn't give you back your change, you might say, "Oh, that person bleep me."
It rhymes with pip.
Yes. Now, I did not know that was a derogatory term. We don't really have that many Romani people that we know of here in the States, or that talk about their background, because it is a persecuted background, and the ones in Europe have been murdered and harassed and all that, so a lot of them necessarily may not speak about it too much. And so, in my opinion, it doesn't matter how obscure something is. If it's a slur, it's a slur. Just because the N-word might be more popular and obviously impacting a larger group of people, sure. But that doesn't mean that everybody else's slurs should just be forgotten about. Like, we don't need to play Oppression Olympics with derogatory slurs. And for Jason Whitlock, a black man, to be caping for white folks for saying this because they're getting canceled or whatever the case may be, like, please rethink your priorities.
Yeah, read the room.
That is not and especially, like, read the room. Like, we're already dealing with so much Asian American hate, Asian American and Pacific Islander hate from ignorant people. Why would we give anybody a pass for saying something derogatory, whether it's an old term or not? The term, he said, I'd never heard of it. I've never seen it. I've never read anywhere.
Yeah, I had no idea that it even exists, but ignorance doesn't absolve you from accountability.
Exactly. Now, that doesn't mean, like, the other day I was in my Discord and we were talking about this, and I mentioned a word that I didn't realize was a slur, and someone was like, "Oh, you said a slur as well," and I said, "Oh, well, thank you for letting me know, because otherwise I would just keep saying." You would just be
out here. What was the slur? Don't say the slur, but like, what's it rhyme with?
Hipsy.
Well, that
I didn't know that was a slur. I just thought that it was a term that Romani people used for themselves. And that you did not use that on them, or I knew that was, I didn't assume that
thought it was like the equivalent of the N-word for them.
No, I thought it was. I didn't even think it was that. Like, I didn't think it was that serious. I thought it was just another term to describe Romani people, but I didn't think it was a term that was negative.
Got you. Okay.
So if they hadn't told me that, then I would still be going around saying it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. So I can use bohemian if I'm trying to describe, like, an aesthetic or something like that. I don't know, but either way, we should all be okay with being called in, regardless of the situations. Because what's the point of living in a community, in a global community, if you don't get to learn new things about different cultures? Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Anything else I was pissed off about this week? Fucking T-Mobile.
You still haven't gotten a new phone? Or
Do you
still
know
can't get you a new phone?
They are returning it to sender? Meanwhile, I was very clear in my UPS delivery thing. If you can't deliver it to my house for whatever reason, I'm not there. There's fucking UPS all over the place. Deliver it to the UPS, or fucking let people deliver the phones to the T-Mobile buildings, because they let you do that before. And when I went in to go get my phone a few weeks back, they were saying, "Oh, we don't let them ship here anymore because if it gets lost or something like that." That's not my problem. Why is it that you want to give me this top flight security stuff to get my phone, but then when I tell you where to drop it, now all of a sudden you don't know, and now I'm going out there without my phone. Now it's fine. The phone that I have works. It's a little glitchy and annoying, but it'll serve its purpose.
It'll do the job.
But I would have saved that money that I used to get the new phone and the fucking charger that you don't put in the phone anymore because you're a dummy.
Well, they don't put the brick in, right?
The brick.
Yeah,
but it's like, brick. How are you going to give me a brick, or you're going to give me the cord without the brick? I can understand if you already know that I have that charger because I've like purchased a phone recently. You're saying, well, we know that you have that, so we're not going to give you an extra one. But I don't have a USB-C brick.
Is there a fucking drought when it comes to bricks?
No, they're just being fucking dumb and cheap. Remember when we were younger, when you would get a phone?
They probably saved a bunch of money.
No,
from
not even.
including.
Because I have read a certain amount of, like, in certain companies, removing things like cables or chargers. Sometimes it's like 7 cents on $1.
Yeah, but 7 cents on $1.
But the thing about it is, you're charging
units is probably
a phone.
a significant
A
amount.
phone costs at least about $1,000 if you get it on average. An Apple phone costs about $1,000. So you're telling me the $1,000 you're getting from my phone, you couldn't take $2 to have those people in whatever warehouse you have them working to just add the little brick to my phone. I gotta pay $19.99 for a brick.
Yeah,
That's not included in the $1,000
charge.
charge.
It is silly. It is silly.
And it's not like I have that one. I have to buy it because I don't have any USB-C chargers that especially now will work with Apple, because anytime you try to use a store-bought fucking charger, they always are like, no, you can't use that because, it's not going to power it up fast enough. So fuck you, T-Mobile, for not delivering things on time and accurately, or giving people updates that they sign. That's for UPS. If someone signs up for UPS updates, you should let them know minute by minute so that if case they need to be home, they can be there. Because this is frustrating.
Yeah, like, you know how, like, Amazon will, like, Amazon will say, like, hey, like, this package is, like, 5 blocks away or something like that,
They will call you and say, your package is almost here, or I tried to deliver a package.
What's up, little baby?
I'm just like, what is the point of me giving y'all all my information if you don't use it? Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. So, continue with yours. What's pissing you off?
These fucking equipment! I swear to God, there is a noise, there's a crackling, there's static. That's something, and I did some research. It is from the fucking cables, like, being all, like cross-wired and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Which means I have to wrangle these cables. And, and it's a fucking headache to have to deal with this setup. There's too many things over here. There's too many things. There's just too much. There's too much shit going on over in this area where we podcast. And it's starting to interfere with the actual quality of the podcast. It sucks, and I hate it because I am nothing if not a fucking podcast perfectionist. You're the one who was like, "Oh, you don't have to be a perfectionist. You just put stuff out."
Because I recognize as someone
who's gonna want to listen to bullshit.
As somebody who is a perfectionist and who will stop herself from putting things out, I don't say that because I don't want it to be as best as it can be. I'm just saying that there are certain things that if once in a while shit is a little awry, most people, like, someone's not going to hear a crackling one time and be like, oh my God, I'm never listening to them again. I was just listening
but
to...
it makes it seem like we're lower
I don't think
in
so,
quality than we actually are. I put good money after good money after good money into making this podcast like what it is now.
No, I appreciate that. I'm just saying that I was just listening to some podcasts that you and I both listen to that are have all these resources and all this money behind them. And there have at least been now 2 episodes where they were I've been listening to some podcasts where they were having some audio issues. It didn't make
Good thing I caught that.
You did catch it very
I'm
quickly.
so glad that I caught that right as it happened.
But that happened, and I didn't say I'm not going to listen anymore. I took it off my headphones. I closed it out, and I started it again, and then it worked. But sometimes shit happens, and I think that people know the quality of our podcast. We're always doing our best, and you can't let those little tiny annoyances stress you out, because if you do that, you're going to be just adding to your anxiety. Because sometimes we just have to go with the flow and figure out how to fix it.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You don't have to take my positivity, but I'm going to have it for you here all the time. It's always going to be here.
It's a frustrating occurrence.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating when your equipment doesn't work the way that it should.
I agree with you. It is very frustrating. But that's not your fault. It's just the equipment being equipment. Are you ready for our next portion?
One last thing.
Okay.
I hate group projects. I just want to put that out there. I hate group projects. And I hate meetings. And I hate the fact that I have 9 meetings in one day.
That's a lot.
That's all.
That's a lot of meetings to have in one day. Honestly, I've been thinking about, like, at my job, what things I might want to do, like, later on as I grow into my role and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the amount of meetings some people have, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That's a lot. Because I feel like a lot of times meetings are not even needed to be meetings. They could just be an email. We didn't have to sit here and talk about this.
Yeah.
We're just doing it because everyone likes to hear themselves talk.
Yeah.
But, that's why working from home.
I also hate the fact that I now have to justify, like, there's a slightly major purchase that I would like to get for the department, and I now have to find a way to justify why it would be,
beneficial.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
people
are going to use it because, like, people are constantly trying to better themselves. And if there's not something that I can teach, then why not use this tool that would be helpful with teaching?
I've learned in business that people need metrics and numbers to make everything make sense. Unfortunately, it's constantly.
It's stupid.
Tell me how can we measure how well this is going to do or how much is going to impact growth? Just do it and you'll see.
Okay.
But,
well,
we don't have... When one day, when the Black and Sturdy podcast is a big conglomerate and we have our own podcast network, perhaps we will have certain business practices that people don't like.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, we'll see.
All right, are we ready to go into the good stuff?
Yes, we are.
I'm the baby merchant, tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
Doesn't the Baby Merchant song just raise your spirits?
A little bit.
A little bit, right? A little tiny bit.
Yes, a little.
Who went first last time?
You did.
Okay, so what's making you happy this week?
Doing this podcast with you. The fact that I got some praise for my recent work at work, so that's good. Yes. And I had some good meals this week. Thank you. So that's a shout out to you.
Thank you.
And
What meal was your favorite?
the tortellini shrimp.
Really?
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that one.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a very meat heavy.
I ate most of it. There's not a lot left in the
No,
leftovers.
I figured. All right,
Yeah.
no, that's great. I feel uplifted. I'm adding that to what makes me.
Speaking of uplifted, you're about to experience something that's gonna uplift you in a little bit.
Okay, so what's been making me happy this week?
Yes.
One, spending time with you and also doing this podcast with you. Getting your birthday stuff off the ground.
Oh,
and
yeah.
solidifying.
This is going to be a really good birthday. I can already tell.
It is. I'm very excited because there's going to be...
Invite
Matt, I'm going to invite you to come out for his birthday. And it's also Matt's birthday's coming up too soon.
Wait, is he in Aries?
He is. I'm going to wait.
Matt, I didn't know that you were an Aries.
He said it last time, remember? Is it?
I was drinking last time.
You were.
I don't remember everything that I said or heard.
I don't want to guess the birthday date. I think that I have it remembered, but Matt, if you're still listening, can you put your birthday date in there? Because I want to say it's April Is it April 6th or is it April 9th? Because I have several friends whose birthdays are
My
April
dad's
6th.
birthday is
Your dad?
the 13th.
My pop-pop's the 3rd. Jenya is the 6th. Tamara is the 6th. Your dad's the 13th. And then you're the 19th. There's lots of my mom. Well, my mom just had her birthday, so happy birthday to my mom. She's
Yay! A lot of people getting busy in August.
Ew.
What? That's just what it is. That's 9 months. What do you want from me? I'm just doing basic math.
You are okay, but I'm happy that your birthday things have been coming together.
Summertime.
So far, people have been RSVPing to the invite, which is
They
great.
have?
Yes.
After this, I want to see who's RSVPing.
And I always appreciate that because it's just one of those things where I get stressed out that
I want to
people
know
are not
who
seeing
RSVPing.
stuff. And then also, I did a Women's History Month panel at work. I got glowing reviews about it. I'm very excited about that. I hope that I can use this to leverage my way more into the DEI space, which is something that I'm really passionate about, and doing more things with the different groups. And it was just a great conversation, and I was glad to have so much help from the people I worked with and so much support. I think that's definitely different from some other jobs I've been at recently, of just having support to do the things that really I find I'm really passionate about. And then I'm going to Thailand.
Yes, you are.
I'm
be
leaving
gone for like 10 days.
on the midnight plane to Seoul at this evening.
Seoul.
What'd I say?
Seoul.
Oh, I'm sorry, Seoul.
Seoul.
You don't know why I said Seoul?
Because there's an E in there.
Yes, but also there's a place in Bed-Stuy or Crown Heights that's called Memphis Seoul. And
It's spelled
it's,
like...
sometimes when I hear people pronounce it, they say Seoul, but yes, Seoul. I'll be there. I've never been to Korea before. I've been trying to go, and I still want to go there for a longer trip because I'm very interested in just seeing the country. But I'm definitely going to try and go and like see stuff if I can.
See stuff, do all the things.
Do all the things. I'll bring you back some snacks. And then I'll be going to.
I just need a shot glass.
I'll be landing in Thailand on Monday. So it'll be cool.
Hello,
I'm really
Coleman.
excited I'm really excited about that. I've never been to Asia before. And, as much as I travel, you would have thought I would have gotten there by now, but nope. And this is a family trip. It's for my cousin's 40th birthday. Shout out to you, Emeka. And I'm really happy because, this is our first family trip since my aunt's passing. And I think that at first, I wasn't planning on going because it is a pretty big trip. But I was just thinking that, my cousin, he always will make sure to be out here with the family regardless, no matter what. If I told him I'm having a birthday, I want you to come out, I know he would show up.
Yeah.
And so I want to show up for him because, just family's important, and I don't want to miss out on these moments that we could have together. I don't really have... My responsibilities compared to others are much lower. I don't have any kids to take care of. I have a lot more freedom to kind of do what I want with my money, and I choose to travel. And if this is one of the places that I could add to my list, I'm happy about that. So I will see you in Phuket. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right. I can't wait to get there.
Phuket.
Is it Phuket or Phuket?
There's no H in there, so I
No,
think
it is. It's P-H-U.
Oh,
It's P-H-U-K-E-T.
I've ever heard it as Phuket.
It might be. The way that I have heard it isn't. I won't say it. It's just the way people always kind of they'll make puns about it.
They'll say it like that.
Yeah, and I don't, and because
And I don't think that's the way
that's
that it's
not how you
pronounced.
say
I think
it.
it is
It's
just
that
Phuket.
people make it like that, and then I'm trying. I don't want to say it until I hear someone from there say it, and then I'll say it. But I'm very excited to go to
Gonna play
Thailand.
a tourist and just be like, "Hey, where are we? Hello,
Mommy.
hey, we're just wrapping up the things that are making us happy."
Also, I got my hair cut. And I like it. I went from looking like G.I. Jane to Jada because I curled it.
Right.
That picture I showed you.
Okay, yeah.
I was looking like a freaking military brat or something.
Yeah. Well, you are a brat, so.
I am very excited to be making this trip. I look forward to getting to the airport and a few hours early because, oh, thank you, Mommy. It's just because I look like you. Getting to the airport early.
You are beautiful! That's how I read that.
And relaxing, getting a glass of wine or something, and just calming my nerves before my 21-hour flight. I've never been on a plane this long. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that works.
Yeah, I'm curious as to
I
how
might
that's
have
gonna
internet, though. I might be able to be
You'll see.
messaging you while
We'll see.
I'm on there.
We'll see. I might be asleep.
You probably will be, but I'm going to message you anyway.
Yeah, and I'll wake up to like 19 different messages,
Yep.
and I'll just be like, okay.
Thank you, Mommy. You're having a nice Merlot.
And I'm going to have some Tito's for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, I think that's all the stuff that's making me happy this week.
Yes.
Work's going well. I made it to this trip. I got all the things I needed to get. If anybody wants to cash at me money,
Cash in, cash out, cash
Please
in, cash
do
out,
that.
cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash out, cash out, cash
oh,
out,
a
cash out.
Shiraz, yum. Is it Yellowtail? She likes that brand.
Okay, cool. That's the only
No, just I know that she likes
Shiraz that I know too.
Did you say all the stuff that's making you happy?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, you said all the stuff that's making you happy.
Yeah, I did.
I said all the stuff that's making me happy.
Yes.
And what makes us the most happy
is having people listen and watch this podcast. It really recommend this to your friends and family. Definitely tell people about this wherever they are.
Share it. Like it.
Share it.
Subscribe
like it.
to it.
Comment. Leave us comments. Send us emails.
Oh.
Okay. All right. That's nice. That's sweet. That's sweet. I wanted to react a different way, but
that just made me think of one of the songs my nana used to always sing to me.
Okay, that isn't me.
No, that's outside.
Okay.
Someone is Chief keeping it up.
Okay, yeah.
That just made me think
some
of
dank.
the song my nana used to always sing me.
What did she used to
You
sing?
are my sunshine,
Oh, okay.
my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take my sunshine away.
I always thought that was kind of a dark song.
It probably is. She was raised during the Great Depression. Most of those songs were terribly dark.
Don't take my sunshine away. It's when you get into the telling me
honestly,
not to do
if
something
you start to
after
think
you
about
praised
it,
me,
maybe
that I start to think that there's some darkness happening underneath this positivity.
And I love you a bushel and a peck. A bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. A hug around the neck. And oh man, this is
Is this Kids Bop now?
No,
that
this
what
is
we're
a
doing?
song by...
Do you remember that it used to be on a PBS Kids Sing Along?
PBS Kids Sing Along?
Yeah, where there was like these two red, pink and blue monsters that would like come up and like sing the songs with the kids.
I don't
And it's
remember
like,
this song.
Down by the bay, where the river flows
Oh,
I
no, yeah.
will not go.
I
For
do
if
know
I
that,
do,
but
my
I don't
mother
remember
will
the
say,
name of it.
Have you ever had a dog eating a log down by the bay?
Yes, I do remember that song, but I didn't realize that's what it was called.
Yeah, PBS Kids Sing Along.
All right,
It might have been called something else, but I know Sing Along was in the title. Kids Sing Along was in the title.
on PBS.
On PBS.
So people can find it.
Yes.
If they're looking. So that's all that I got.
So that's everything that I have.
Please, we won't be here for a Watch Out Wednesday this week. We won't have a
So we won't have
episode.
there's going to be 2 Wednesdays where we're not going to be here,
Is
right?
it 2 Wednesdays? I get back on the 4th. What day is that? Is that Wednesday?
I think that's Tuesday. So you might.
I'll be back on April 4th. So whatever day that is, you can expect there to be recording at some point.
So we're gonna be gone for about a week, a week's worth of content.
So just subscribe, listen to old episodes, share them, comment on them, like them, and all that good stuff. And, maybe I'll share some content from while I'm in Thailand.
And meanwhile, I will be asleep.
Your favorite activity.
Yes, it's my favorite thing to do. All right. With that being said, that's all there is to say. Until next time, take it easy. Bye. Not yet, just... Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's ThatsOD_THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.